Welcome back, LinkedIn Logs, episode 3. I'm your host, Chad White. If you didn't know, this is the podcast where at slash video shows slash portfolio where I try to become, where I do become the world's leading LinkedIn influencer. LinkedIn influencer, it's a portmanteau. I have to put things together to shorten my time because I'm a busy influencing person. Just hit the microphone arm. Here we are, episode 3. Adjusting everything I can so I don't have to do it again. What's going on with me? In my week, I just moved the mic up to my face. So now I should sound clearer, sexier, more baritone. What's going on in my week? I applied to several more jobs. I don't know why I just checked the time. If you're watching the video, you just saw me look down at my watch as if I had somewhere to be. I don't. What's going on with me? I, as always, just applying to positions, applying to jobs, because that's what you do when you're broke and you have no jobs or contracts coming in and out of offers. Which is interesting because everybody makes it seem so easy. Everybody on LinkedIn, all these people posting. I just recently saw somebody whom I used to work with. I won't be Pacific. I just saw somebody who I used to work with at Warner, and they were laid off at the same time as me. Haven't had a job for a month. They had a full-time position, which means I got severance. I did not. And they were one of those people that posted on LinkedIn. This is going to be too specific. I don't care. I'll never see that person again. I just signed the dotted line. I don't reveal my job until I start the first day, but this is what I got. Here's the breakdown of what happened. 12 interviews, 2 ghostings, 4 work assignments, countless hours of traveling. Like, who does that benefit? When someone who is in a privileged position, who can pay their bills, who has severance, and is laid off from a position, and then they immediately get a job a month later, you can't claim that. I understand everybody's different, but it's a lot more difficult for that person, for somebody in my position to be like, I want to go get a job. Like this person, a job almost immediately. There's no mental health thing. There's nothing you can say like I'm a victim because you're not. You're in a privileged position anyway. And I see that all over LinkedIn all the time. All these people posting these fake friggin' posts about how, oh, I'm so sad I don't have a job and it's been 2 weeks. There was, you know what? There was, I saw, this is maybe a year ago, a year and change, but I was on Nextdoor. I like to go on Nextdoor because I like to buy people's stuff secondhand. Like this guitar, I bought this guitar to match this guitar that I've had since I was in high school, I believe, or middle school. Actually, it was probably high school. And I just buy people's things for cheap. Jesus. Okay, I should have done this. Okay, this is a bad idea. I am so sorry. And I was on Nextdoor. Actually, you know what? It was 2 years ago. And I saw this young lady post. She just graduated from college. She just graduated from Georgia State University. And it was like she just December graduated, and it was maybe mid-January, and she goes, I've been applying to jobs since graduation. Graduated December 2021, and 2020, and I've been applying to jobs, and I just haven't gotten any bites. I have a degree in business, minored in lawyer or whatever, and it had like 100 likes. It had like dozens, like 50 likes and like 100 comments that said, you'll get something, and then all these job offers. And I'm just thinking, is it that easy? It's not. You see all these countless articles, millennials, Generation Y or Z, or who's after me? Who's after millennials? Generation Z, bouncing between jobs all the time. Let me tell you. No, ma'am. Stop it. Nova. Scratching at that damn couch. Let me tell you. If it was that easy, I would not be doing it. It's crazy. And if one more person goes, oh, Atlanta's the Hollywood of the South, you can find a job easily, I'm gonna punch you in the mouth. I don't care who you are. Oh, Atlanta's the Hollywood of the South, you should be able to get a job easily. No, it's not like that. It's not how it works. Speaking of which, I have to what's it called? I have to do unemployment. Okay, because I don't have a job. I ain't got no money, so I got to do unemployment. And this is not my first job doing unemployment. First time, I did it last year around this time, when I was laid off from Bounce TV for 8 months, and that was during the peak of the pandemic. Right, so we were getting money from the government sometimes. I think a total of like 3 or 4. I think I only got 3 of those, and then I had the unemployment, which was boosted up to double what it is, so I could rest easy, even though it still took me 8 months to find a job. Like 10 actually, yeah, because I stopped in Yeah, I didn't work until like January 18th, and then all the way until October, and have a job in my industry. And to work at a cleaners. I remember one of the last days there. I'll get back to my story. I remember one of the last days there. I'm like Inception. Way too. I remember one of the last days there. This guy brought in his bag, and it's a dry cleaners. I work at dry cleaners. But then they also offer services for doing your laundry, but not at that place because they didn't have machines on whatever site. They would just take it to a place south of Atlanta. And a guy brought in his bag of clothes, didn't say a word to me, just dropped off the bag and left. His name was on the bag, but just left. Didn't say when did he want the back or blah blah blah. Took the bag, opened it. He had to dump things into a bin, and I made $11 an hour, and they made me work 38 hours a week, sometimes 40, and refused benefits. I had $0.00, and I worked like 7 to 8 hour days. It was ridiculous. I had to eat in my car, and it was embarrassing too because it stunk. Any hoosers. This guy drops off his clothes. I open them up. I start trying to divvy them out. See some underwear. And I go, so this is a laundry bag. He just dropped off a bag of laundry. Because usually when people drop off their bags, it's dry cleaning. Oh, and also they stay and they say, hey, my name is blank blank. And just have them back whenever you can. No. Threw the bag at me. And I remember going, oh, exclaiming. This is a clean podcast, even though I just said damn earlier. Who cares? I'm an adult. You're an adult. Or a child listening to this. Hello, children. Hey, Chef. South Park is back, and hopefully this season's better than the last 5. Oh, boy. Jeez. And then I exclaimed, and then the person that was working with me looks up, older person, maybe they're 60s, and goes, oh, that was, so-and-so. I guess it's just laundry. And I'm just mad that I touched his dirty clothes. And then that same day, I threw it all in there, and I threw the bag, in the back. And then that same day, someone else came in with their bag, this time dry cleaning, dropped it off. And I opened it, and it was just like, I pulled out like a shirt covered in dandruff. And I'm like, and I just, and so everything else is covered in dandruff. And then that same week, I opened a bag. It's usually people don't bring in their bags. They just had a lot of, they have their own bags. They go there frequently. And then it's just, I guess they had a lot of, not laundry, dry cleaning. And then that same week, I opened a bag and a dead roach came out. And I said, please, I just looked up in the sky. I said, please give me a job. I was at wit's end. And I was hired by Warner Bros. Discovery and did not start for comfortably 3 weeks. But you better believe I quit that job. I quit the cleaners. Any Hoosers, I went. So I had to. So I do the GDOL thing. I have to Department of Labor. I have to do my, what's it called, unemployment. Only this time, for some reason, the GDOL is like, you have to fill out 3 weekly job search reports in order to get paid, and then if they don't see that as satisfactory, they call you in. They just call you in. Like, that's crazy. So a lady calls me on Tuesday afternoon and says, you missed your appointment. And I go, excuse me? What? She goes, this is so-and-so from GDOL. You missed your appointment. When can you reschedule it? And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. She goes, you're going to have to come in. And I go, for what? She goes, she tells me about this, whatever they're doing. And I go, lady, this seems like a huge waste of time to come in, and then they make you. So the thing is, they make you come in and take a class about how to apply to jobs. I'm not kidding. This is not an exaggeration. I don't know if they've done this before, but they make you take this class about how to apply to jobs. And it just seems so, it's, the first word that came to mind was asinine. The second set of words that came to mind was waste of my time. And I tried to explain to her that online they have this this job portal that is poorly designed, that you have to set up an account for and apply to jobs that they not offer, but that they work with companies. So like they'll go to I have LinkedIn open, and so they'll have Robert Half. If you want to work in marketing, I assume it's marketing, I don't know. But if you want to work in marketing, if you're a marketing person, and Robert Half has a marketing job, ad style job open, and they'll help you get a leg up and get you forward in that. However, it is only for a certain, that website is just for the website they provide, not the unemployment website, but the website they provide for jobs is for a certain sect of Job Corps, i.e. it's not for people in a creative industry. From what I gather, it's not for high level executives who also probably wouldn't need this thing, but they would, if they had signed up for unemployment, that's probably what they would get or have to do. Which is a crazy notion to have to, because all right. So I go there. I set up the appointment. I go, fine, whatever. Just give me the appointment. Just let me do it so I can get paid. And I go. Also, Kamala Harris was in town to speak at Georgia Tech, and I was just thinking, please don't let this be in Midtown. I know it's got to be in downtown. Turns out it's an 8-minute drive, 8 to 10 minute drive. I go, thank goodness. I go. They have free parking, which is another stipulation too. I go, and then I go inside, and quite frankly, it's not for I wouldn't even say it's for white collar work. It's for a lot of the kind of clientele that was in there were people that were an older generation, or people who were who mostly work temp gigs and part-time jobs and things of that nature. In fact, I don't even think, it should be an optional thing because when I went to the class, and there's only like 4 of us in there, it seemed as though it was a place to help you know how to apply to jobs versus someone who already has the resume set up, already knows interview skills. Like they would teach you things that quite frankly we should learn in high school and in college as opposed to now as adults. So yeah, I mean it was an hour and change waste of my time. Because I know how to use these systems, and you know how to use these systems, and everybody else knows how to use these systems, which is just an insane fact. So then after that, we had to sit down with one of the instructors, and the woman was like I told her, I was like, I told her exact same thing I just said here. It's not really for my job sector, my industry. And she agreed. She goes, yeah, I had a cameraman in here yesterday, and he explained to me when the jobs are good, they're good. And, when it ebbs and flows, and when it's bad. And I was like, yeah. So she was like, I know, you know what you're doing. I like essentially saying like, you shouldn't even be here. And all she had to do was just type her notes in and say, does not need to come to this ever again. But yeah. I got some questions answered. I mean, that was pretty much it. The one, like the thing about the Department of Labor, and I'll say this for like the entire government, is that everybody is just so difficult to get a hold of. You go to Google reviews and you like just look up a place to like one of these government style buildings to go to, and you see the reviews are so poor because everybody's just like, you can't talk to anybody. But these people, when you actually go to this, the one good thing that came out of this is this woman was like, here's my card, here's my direct email, and that is the best. I will answer it at the end of the day. That is the best way to contact anyone here. And it's like, thank you. That makes much more sense than me calling GDOL and going, hey, I didn't get paid this week. My $300. So it was a waste of my time. That trip was a waste of my time. And I didn't run into Kamala traffic, so that was fantastic. Later that day, later yesterday is when that happened. I'm sitting on the couch and, I'm editing the interview I just put out with Chase O'Donnell over there on youtube.com/peoplescomedy, and I look at the map, for fun because I'm a loser. And it was like 4:00 in the afternoon, which is already bad for traffic. I tried not to leave anywhere after 4. The traffic was horrible. The red lines everywhere. It was crazy because she was here in town. All right, let's move on to the next topic. Listen, I had an interview last week. They seemed pretty gung ho. No, I see what the job was, but it is in the entertainment industry, and they seem pretty gung ho. And I'm going, great, let's go. They say Monday we're going to set something up. We're going to set the second interview with the heads of the people. I go, perfect, let's do it. Monday comes, nothing happens. I go, all right, I'm a little busy. Tuesday happens. I send out an email saying, hey, just looking to see what's up. Wednesday happens. And obviously it's more professional. I'm just trying to boil down the story, you idiots. Somebody calls his listeners idiots. Wednesday happens. They finally get back to me. Aiming for Friday. It's been a little busy, a little bit hectic, but fine, whatever. The problem is a lot of these places, and you know what? I'll call out this company, Crisp. I don't know if I talked about them last time, but Crisp is in Atlanta, Georgia. They are a marketing agency who thinks they're the top-notch, hottest thing in the world. If you go to Crisp, it's CRISP. It's a bunch of white 30-year-olds. who own this marketing agency, and they're located in north, south, east, west, basically southwestern Buckhead. North, south, east, west. Northwestern Atlanta, but southwestern Buckhead. And, ooh, you got an email. Ooh, let's see, is it important? No, it's from my bank. I ain't got no money. And they went on every single one of their job, their job postings. They have, digital editor for marketing, for video marketing production or whatever. And in the body of the thing, they'll say, call this number, 404 blah blah blah, and then follow the instructions on how to apply. And that number will take you to a separate URL. Like, you'll call the number, and then they'll be like, go to www.crisp.job.co. So instead of going to the web, instead of applying on LinkedIn, or B, going to the website, you have to apply via this phone number, which is stupid. And then you apply, and then you have to email a special email address. That all gets told to you via the phone number. After they give you that phone number on the posting, the job posting, they'll say something along the lines of, do not apply via this LinkedIn post, do not apply via the website, even though there are apply buttons right there. And even though LinkedIn is set up in such a way that the application goes through that way, regardless of what they say. And it says, we will not look at it. You have to follow instructions, blah, blah, blah. I don't think they say have to follow instructions, but it's implied. And I've applied to, I don't know, maybe 5 jobs there over the course of 3 or 4 years. One time, the last time I did not have a position, was I think I was they had a creative producer, which is for marketing, which is a marketing producer, I guess, whatever, position, or no, editor, because they asked me if I edited, and position open. And I finally got through. This woman called me, who I don't know who she was, but we had a nice interview, a nice chat, and they never called. She was like, yeah, we're ready. Yeah, this is great. Blah, blah, blah. Just one of those what now I see as a fake gung ho thing. And she was like, yes, we're going to set something up for, this date. They ghosted me. Not only that, and that's not the only job that's ghosted me. I've been ghosted, not only by women I've dated, but by so many jobs. If you think I was ghosted by 4 or 5 jobs, I've been ghosted by more than 20 people who've been let me hire you, and then they never follow through. And I'm always sending follow-up emails. Hey, he's excited to come work for the company, or whatever. Hey, I'm excited to talk to you again. Let's just want to see if we're going to follow up again. Just all that stuff. I do everything that's supposed to be done. I don't need advice. I know what to do. I'm great at talking to people. You see, I'm talking to you right now. Anyway, I just hate being ghosted. And I'm gonna call you out on it, Crisp. I'm gonna call you out on it. Who else? Who else has ghosted me before? Let's see. Oh, CBS. Oh my God. What is now known as the Atlanta affiliate, the Atlanta News First. It's called Atlanta News First, which sounds so alt-righty that they really need to change that name. Atlanta News First, which is the CBS affiliate here. I had an interview with the producer they were like, we're hiring basically for next week. And this woman desperately calls me or reaches out. We have a Zoom interview. This is one of the most unprofessional interviews I've ever had. I've had a lot of unprofessional interviews on their part, not on my part. I give my best 180,000%. This woman's, this is so funny. If you're watching the video, you'll get a very good representation. This woman had her laptop on a low desk. So I'm looking up at her, and half of her face, if you're watching the video, was blocked. You'll see that I'm doing it almost perfectly. Was blocked out by it was a desk overhang. So the desk had a shelf, and the desk was overhung, and I could not see her forehead. She was looking down at me, which was so frustrating to see, so frustrating to experience. And she did not she was so excited. She was like, "Oh my gosh, we just need, like, you've worked at NBC, and we need you, and this is great. You seem like you know what you're doing and all this stuff." And I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm excited. You know, I work nights, weekends, holidays, whatever you need me to do." She's like, "All right, well, our executive director or whatever is out of town right now. In a couple of days, he'll be back, and let's set up an interview for when he comes back. Then." I go, "Great, perfect." And she goes, I think she had like one other person to talk to, but I was definitely, she made it seem as though, and all props to her for being a great actor. She made it seem that I was the one for the job. And she tells me the day the guy comes back, I email her. I send a thank you email. I send a follow-up email. I don't get anything back at all. That was just like, we're gonna give you this job, and then nothing at all. Anyway, what is that noise? Oh, there's people working outside. That's a lot of that's a lot to say of and again, those are just Crisp and now what's now known as it used to be CBS 46, but now WANF. Well, again, so alt-righty. Those are the things that those are two big things that have happened, not recently. I'm saying of ghosting, and again, that's 2 of 20. There's way more stories of ghosting from probably smaller companies. There was one. I was definitely, if you remember, during again the peak of the pandemic in 2021, where somebody was posing as, or people were posing, like doing scams essentially on LinkedIn and all these other job sites, and they posted a video producer position for Cryleak, the real estate company, and I applied. They sent me a little test thing to answer questions, and then I answered all the questions and did everything, and like it was like her name was like Barb or something. So they go, I have not met this person yet. This is after like 2 days, and then I did the test, and I like when I answered their questions, I got a little sense of, oh, this isn't real. So towards the end, there were like 20 questions. Towards the end, I started putting, just like BS answers. And this person accepted them, and they're like, oh, great, we want to, let you have the job, or, whatever. And, we're going to send you a check for a very specific amount, $3,487, to buy, iMac, this version of the iMac, this mouse and this keyboard, and, whatever office supplies you need. And it's going to come out to, less than that or something. And they send me a check, and then I look up this woman, the woman who's emailing me, because my mom goes, have you talked to anybody? I go, no. I look at this woman on Facebook, and it's and I go, okay, well, this woman's real, and there's a lot of posts, like there's likes and stuff and posts and everything. But I call the bank for the check, and I go, hey, is this check real? And the bank sends me over to one of their accountants, and the accountant's like, no, dude, don't do that. And I'm like, you're right. And he explains to me what their whole plan was. I guess their plan was for me to deposit the check, which I did not do. And then they take the money out, and then I'm left with like $0 or something. I don't know the scheme. I don't know how it's supposed to work out, but that's what was supposed to happen. And also, they made me do what is it? There's this verified.id. They had a verified.id link that was remarkable. Like if it was not the real thing, it was remarkably similar. And I did the whole thing. I scanned, my face and everything, and it wouldn't go through. And I was like, what's going on? So I do it again, and it wouldn't go through. And I call the number that was provided in the email, and this African guy, heavy African accent, picks up, and he goes, "What?" And I'm like, "Hey, I did the scan. It's not working." He goes, "What are you talking about?" And I'm doing the scan, and it is not working. Like at this point, I go, "This is fake," but I want to see how far I can push it. And he goes, "Okay, let me work on this." And then like he does whatever. And he goes, "Try again." And then I do it again, and it works. I go, "All right, cool, it works." And he goes, and he hangs up on me. There's no goodbye, there's no thank you. He just hangs up on me. And then I get the check, and then yeah, whatever. Yeah, that's it. That's that. Those are three crazy stories I've had to deal with. And again, there's more. There's much more crap that I've had to deal with in my desperation. I mean, all that to say is think about when you post to LinkedIn. I had an entirely different segment set up, but I just told three different stories I wanted to tell. When like you complaining about how sad you are that you don't have a job for 2 weeks, and you've got and you have all the options in the world. There are people besides me that I know that are worse off than I am. Or there are people, everybody, there's somebody who's not doing as well as you, and you know what? They're not going to post it to LinkedIn and talk about that crap. I mean, because all in all, I'm scrolling through LinkedIn right now. We can you can talk about how sad you are or whatever mental health bullcrap. And believe you me, I do think it's bullcrap. Because you can't blame everything on mental health. Yeah, I ran down. I drove through a school. It's my mental health. Nobody's gonna hire me now. Hey, there's a woman that lied to me on LinkedIn that I just scrolled past a post that she commented on. I should comment. She says, "Love this. Congrats, Sierra." Or I just commented, "You friggin' liar." I'm not gonna say her name. I should though. It'd be very funny if I did. But take into account what you're posting on LinkedIn. I do Peloton. I love Peloton to from the top of my head to the bottom of my little toesies. I love Peloton so much, but one thing that's really holding them back with the I was gonna make a bad joke. One thing that's really holding them back is that the tread, the strength, and the cycling instructors all have this. They all drink their own Kool-Aid. They all take themselves way too seriously, and they all kind of put everybody into this one category of you're all moms, you're all sad, you're all people who probably tried to jump off a cliff. So, sounds so mean, but I'm getting to a point where that not everybody is that way, and yeah, there is not an expectation, but there is a now more openness of we can talk about what we're experiencing and our emotions and things of that nature. But at some point, you just have to buckle down and do the work. Yeah, I don't want to be in the middle. I'll go back to Peloton. I don't want to be in the middle of a class sprinting and they're going, and this happens constantly. And like I'm doing a HIIT class, and we're in the middle of a sprint, and they're like, "You are tough, you are capable, you had a baby, and you can do anything." Like, yeah, but we're sprinting. Do I need that? Like, is that necessary? All that to say, the recruiters that I follow on LinkedIn, stop posting this BS about everybody could get a job, and please reach out to us if you need help, and open your heart to the skies. Because if I reach out to you and you don't respond, and I see you look at that message, or I email you and you don't respond, and I know you got that email because I've seen how fast you respond, we're going to have a problem. And I definitely have a problem with 3 specific people from Warner Brothers Discovery. Oh my gosh. I'm holding people accountable. Listen, I've gone over time. If you like what you heard here, I don't know why you would. Hire me. Second, I'm an influencer. Come on. I talk to comedians. Over on cpluscomedy.com, you can see me do that. Talk to comedians. Craig Ferguson, Maria Bamford, Jen Kirkman. Don't say you like comedy and don't make me name people and then make me name people like where they come from. Who's quick? There's how many times I can't tell you how many times I've so Jesus I've somebody's been like, oh, your portfolio blah blah blah, you talk to people, who you talk to. I go Craig Ferguson, and like that's the biggest person I've talked to. They go, who? I love comedy. Tell me who the comedians are that you talk to. A, it's not just comedians, but B, I'm not gonna go Maria Bamford and then you go, who? Chuckles McPicklesworth? He's at the Laugh Factory 2 days ago. He's got 7 followers. He was funny. Does a lot of racist jokes, though. A lot of sexist jokes, too. It happens so much. Anyway, you want to see me talk to those people? cpluscomedy.com. You want to see a video version of this show, as well as video versions of these interviews, as well as our leading news show, News Time. YouTube.com/cpluscomedy. You want to subscribe to our other podcasts, This Week in Late Night, as well as what is it? The Constitutions. the one podcast that actually gets listens. Head over to that. And yeah, that's it. PortfolioChadCWhite.com. These are all real places you can go to hire me. I'm the best choice out of all the choices, as my LinkedIn, probably the best choice out of all the choices, as my LinkedIn says. And listen, if you made it this far, who's to say a couple more years working for your company? I know, and I'm not jaded or angry. I'm just trying to hold people accountable. Don't be fake on LinkedIn. Anyway, all right, that's the end of this show. There's no theme song, so we'll just say goodbye. Goodbye. Okay, I'll stop.